fire.
Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist. I'm joined with hubby.
Okay.
And today we are bringing back a piece I haven't touched since 2018. Started it in 2017. It's a 16 by 20 on Baltic Birch. And I'm going to see how different my burning is now compared to when I started it. And I worked on it 6 lives, but this is as far as we got. So we're going to take another look at it. Hey, John, Spence, Teresa, Carrie, Kathy, Shirley, Carmen, and Vanessa. This is a black bear. When I first saw this little guy, he was just, what, less than a year old?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. At Bearizona, he or she is now a big bear, living with the big guys, living their best life. So that is where we're at. I'm looking at things I've already done, and I definitely feel it needs to go darker here at the chin. And I think I'm trying to pick a spot, any spot where to get going. I'm going to start off with the 18 large because we do have such black areas that, oh, you guys already have the photo. That's the one. This is the color one popped up. Hey, Andrea. And yep, this is all dark under here where we've got a line of the fur that's splitting. We start seeing highlights here. See, the fun part with this bear is we actually see skin through the fur because only got the baby fur. So I'm trying to figure out, so we can get something going really dynamic, where to start. Ugh, who be that?
You have a message.
It looks like Greg. Yeah. Alright, so, okay, brain stopped for a second. And because I'm on birch, the form may not be dark enough. And it's been so long since I've done birch that I've got to... Oh.
Girl's here. John wants to know why I'm not burning. I'm assuming he's talking about me. I hope so.
You're the only man in the room.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope so.
We're hoping to do... He will hopefully pick up a burning in March. Since this is World Pyrography Month, starting today, woohoo, which I still need to finish drawing my pattern. I got the kitty left to draw. We are going to draw and burn one of his characters from his tabletop role-playing game. So that's going to take a little while because I have to make a character, of which I've never done. We are going to record all that, and that'll be popped up when you start a channel, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. So right here, I went pretty light on the fur. I've gone ahead and bumped up to 5 in order to really start darkening this up. And I'm actually burning flat so that I can drag it.
Sorry about the barking.
Yeah, she's getting worse with her anxiety.
Yeah, I don't...
We're going to have to figure out all that. I've got music playing for her.
Yeah. John says we're a good couple.
Ah, thank you.
I hope so.
Well, he's stuck with me, so it don't matter. You put a ring on it. You listen to Beyonce, you put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're stuck. See, when I burn flat and keep dragging, it lightens up. But I actually can go darker. And this is under the chin. If I use just the tip, it does go darker as long as I drag slowly. I'm going to zoom in, get this camera a little bit out of my face, angle it so we can see, and I'm actually going to, because these are really bright.
Did Teresa change her icon?
Did Teresa change your icon?
It looks like...
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, now my eyes are seeing dots. I'm seeing dots. See, because I let my pen sit for a minute, it fully...
Oh, it's a horse.
Reheated Remember, the wood draws the heat from the pen. So I'm using more of the top half. And we can't see any main fur. So we don't see any specific fur pattern other than we know it's coming down. So I don't have to put any fur detail in here. I just need to follow that direction. Overall, coming back to this, I don't hate it. I wish I would have started off darker. You see, birch definitely accepts the heat different. And this is not a Trekell board. This is a Dick Blick Baltic Birch, which also burns differently, and is one of the reasons I actually switch brands. So if I didn't want to heat this up anymore, I would switch over to the 18 extra small, because at 5.5 it's going to burn even hotter. And it might not be a bad thing to do, so I'm going to go ahead and switch so I can move faster. So we're going from the large to the extra small, and even though it's a large area, it'll still build up quickly. Oh no, I haven't seen Sheila. I need to send her a message, make sure everything's okay. See, now this, you're going to see the difference in heat, and I'm going to have to move quicker. In fact, I can lower it down to 5, just under 5, because that's like really burning different. And that's based on the size of this tip and how it's created. So that just means I need to move faster. And I am burning flat. And see, where I've already burned, I do need to slow down in order to get that darker burn. See here, this is really light, so we're gonna quickly blend it up. So I'm using the tip, just blending up into the chin, so that it's not so dramatic. I mean, it is in a way dramatic on the photo.
You said you're just using a tip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see, it's getting kind of spotty, and that's because of the wood. So I'll go back to dragging it instead of doing the ovals. But luckily, I can blend those out. But I'm trying to blend up and darken this, because even up here, this is gonna need to go darker. I can definitely tell I was a little more hesitant to go darker. Now it's like, just do it. And I don't want to take the torch to it, because then we get a different color. Remember, the torch burns black, and our pens burn more brown. So how far down does this go? So our dark comes down to here, so I'll just quickly sketch it in so I know where it's at. And start dragging this down. Yeah, it's been a long time since this Blick board, and I can feel the difference. I really feel the difference. Bring it back up so I can blend it. In order to blend at this heat temperature, I need to move quicker so that it's darkening but not overtaking it. I kind of need to switch the board over at an angle, but because it's a 16 by 20, it's kind of harder to do. So I might have to stand on my head at some point.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, that could be really entertaining.
You might not be burning.
Might be a little dizzy.
Hello, and welcome to Falling with Valarie.
Yes, Falling with Valarie. Right now, I'm not trying to get a heavy fur texture. In fact, I can go a little lighter and then come back later and use the edge of my pen to build it up. That tends to be easier than using what I did here, where I put more of the texture in and now I have to burn over it. It's still doable.
Greg's here.
Hey, Greg. The message Greg sent was that Trekell was getting rid of their raw cradle boards, which really stinks.
No, that's a black bear.
Yeah, this is a black bear. Oh, excuse me. Basic is.
But it's a cub, so.
Yep. This is before they even got their new enclosure. See, I can push this back. We do see some light, but that's too light. So I'll have to push it back, darken it just a little bit. I know it's hard to tell it's not darkening, but it is slightly. I just don't know how much the camera's picking it up, darkening.
Carmen says that when she's burning on basswood, she burns a spot black, but then looks at it later, it's turned a reddish dark brown. She says it doesn't seem to stay black. That's
I
odd.
think part of that is you start putting other areas in and it starts lightening up.
By comparison, right?
By comparison, yeah. So it may not have originally been as dark as you thought it was, but because you only had the darks on the board, it looked darker, and then you started putting other things in, and it started lightening up. Because now it has more to work with. I'm actually gonna. This part of the grain's burning lighter. So I just bumped it up to 5.5 again. Because this is a really dark area. Even in lightening the photo, it's still dark. Because it's a shadow on black fur. So I may have to keep going over an area to build it up. See, this is lighter, and then it darkens almost immediately. I could also try the spoon shader and see how that goes. I don't recommend you have a whole bunch of pens, but sometimes where one pen might be taking a little longer or you're struggling a little bit, switching that pen just might help. Maybe the wood likes it differently. Because remember, we're not just burning with heat, we're working with the wood. And different parts of the grain react differently to our heat. They react differently to the pen and how the pen's touching it. I'm actually going to go with the large spoon shader, so it still has more of the dip. And because it's a thinner pen, don't think I'm going to need quite as high as heat. So I'll bump it down to 5 to start, and we'll see where we're at. Did we already get one of ours?
Yes. I hid them away.
You hid them away. Alright. So this is at 5. Remember, if I want texture, I could always go back with the edge of a spear shader and put that texture in. See, that can go up to 5.5. And this is like the darkest. I don't think you'll see me go above 6.5. But I do feel this part I want darker. Because the lip comes over. Okay, I think I see it. Where isn't. Sometimes you get to burning and you don't pay attention, and I can see that I got off back in 2018. So I'm just gonna fix it the way I want it. That child.
I mean, she knows that we're right here.
Mm-hmm. She knows.
But she's so upset that she can't get at us right now.
Oh, I forgot to light the incense.
You're gonna light incense?
It's already in, I just didn't light it.
No.
Okay, straight line all the way across. This will form the mouth better. See, I'm also working across the grain because this is a long grain board. So I'm also working.
Where is it?
Behind you.
Ah.
See, I can darken it the way. Yeah, I'm liking at least this pen for darkening. Reshape the face a little bit. And I can go up on the tip and give more of a fur texture. There you go.
Okay. This lighter doesn't seem to
There.
want to light.
So we are lighter over here, but we do have some darks coming up. We can already see how the face is transformed. I wonder how long this piece is going to take me if I'm going to keep coming back to it year after year after year and see how much I've changed. What I feel more comfortable with. Though at some point I do want this done. So the grain will interfere with your burn color, at least with birch. Basswood isn't quite as bad. You see, 6.5, just so I can darken this area quickly.
Yes, I was just lighting the thing, so.
Um, What's wrong? What's wrong?
I'm just looking because there's a couple questions. I don't think it would be sap, Carrie.
No, it's not sap. Pine has an issue with sap. Birch does not. It's just the darker grain tends to be a little bit harder than the lighter grain.
She's talking about basswood, though.
Oh. Who?
Carmen?
Yeah, Carmen.
Sorry. Carrie. Teresa is trying to do collage.
Mm-hmm. She's doing more pyrography mode.
Yeah. But Photoshop is too confusing. She's looking for another app that she could layer the subjects in the photo.
Okay, so when I'm not using Photoshop for something like that, I use Canva. I use Canva, Canva, and I don't think you have to have a paid account to pull the background of the main subject. So I'll put in Canva first at an approximate size of what I want it on the board. And then I will open up Autodesk Sketchbook, which is also a free app. and that's where I lay in everything. I'm trying to think. I haven't shown making a collage, have I? I've just shown.
Not specifically.
I haven't.
You've shown how to do it, but not specifically as a collage.
I'm trying to think what I've done in Photoshop on camera. I wonder if I need to do do a video on that. Because in Photoshop, I always measure my board and create a new file with that board size. And then fix my photos that I want to move over. And create layers out of them. Well, it'll automatically create a layer. I'm thinking. I guess I kind of need to know what part you're confused on. And maybe I could screen record and upload something just for you guys.
That might be a good toasty one, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Although I guess we could do a live this Sunday. And I can show you how I made my pattern.
Well, Teresa says, I've heard of it, but we'll try Auto Desktop also. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Burl says, you showed last year or the year before how you put together your World Pyrography Month.
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm over 300 videos, so I kind of lose track
Yeah, I know.
of what I've done. Let's see here. This is a little darker. You see how I'm moving quickly. I'm at 6.5. My pen is not overly hot because I am at an angle.
Yeah, Photoshop is... I didn't get along with it at first either, Teresa. It's, I used Painter before that, but I haven't updated Painter in years, and we already have Photoshop, so I went ahead and learned it. But yeah, it's a lot different.
Maybe I should have done the live on that today.
Burl says Photoshop Elements.
I don't know Elements. Wait a minute. No, that's not the app on the phone, is it? Photoshop.
I think it
That's
is.
Express. That's Express.
Oh, I'm thinking, yeah.
Alright, so here it's still dark fur. We get a little fur that peeks out. Maybe we'll switch over to the peeking out fur, just so I'm not making a big old dark mess the whole live. Not mess, but so we got more going on. Because we do have fur that pops out of the darkness, so we can go ahead and I'm getting my bearings. This is dark. This lightens up. Since I haven't looked at this pattern or even this piece in 4 years, I definitely got to get my bearings.
Wanda's here.
Hey, Wanda. Alright, so we got our dark fur. It's coming down here. So I'm going to lay this in just so I don't lose it. Alright, so that's our dark area. It lightens as it comes down. We have a piece of light sticking out right here. So for the piece of light, I'm actually going to pull the camera down. There we go. I'm actually going to negative burn around it. I'll have to burn it a little bit to darken it up, but I can shape it with negative burning. And this way I don't lose it. Like, I don't even know if I'm right on it. So here, that is a line. That is the line. There is our cub shadow, or our cub arm. Right here.
Burl might be, she's offering to help
Oh, okay.
her. It's what we like about you guys. You guys are real community. You're here to help each other too. And that is amazing. That's nice to see.
Yeah. So I'm just moving quickly, burning around the area that I want to curve a little bit. Now I'm dragging in from the dark area, just so I know what's what. So it's gonna look crazy until
It doesn't. Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't, yeah. So I am using the edge a little bit because there's lighter fur. Now I see what I'm doing. You know, on some level I don't miss birch. At least this birch.
Yes, Carrie, it is. It's like one big family.
Yeah, it is.
In the best way.
In the best way. Yeah, these aren't the ones you're worried about Thanksgiving, Christmas. Now, I think I still need to drag this down.
Burl says it's ironic that you're doing a bear today.
Why is
She
that?
spent over 2 hours last night looking at bear photos because someone requested a bear to burn.
Well, then it worked out for everybody. I know this shape looks really weird, but we're at the armpit. And I'm trying to just lay it in. Like this area is a little darker, but this is the darkest area of the fur. Bring it in. If I move my hand the wrong way, it's no big deal because luckily I can burn over it and it just makes it feel more like fur because there's no absolute about fur. Like you wouldn't know maybe I moved my pen in a certain way just by looking at the piece. Because one, in most cases, now portraits are different, but in most cases people aren't looking at your reference right next to your burning unless you post it that way.
Yeah.
So you really don't need to stress out. There's no reason to stress out. Let's see here. This is actually further up. See, I see a little bit of graphite. I'm just trying to figure out what's what. And I would say that's the hard part of having a piece sit for so long and coming back to it. Is just knowing what you drew, what your mindset was when you did it. That I think is the hardest. But I think what makes it easier is by the time you come back, you've gotten even more experience. Feel more confident in yourself. So you're not as worried about it. I'm going to actually switch over. Excuse me. See, I know I used the 18M on this piece. Up here. I've switched over to the 18 small. But I do have to bump up the heat because, again, it carries heat differently.
Chat's talking about the shadow across the face.
In a bad way?
Well, girl says she wouldn't have chosen it because of the shadow.
I chose it because of the shadow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I chose it because of the shadow. Because it gives it more contrast and more interest. But I would definitely say it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
Not right, not wrong, just personal choice. So I've bumped up to 5.5. I'm flat.
You're flat.
My pen is flat.
Yes. I know that. Jeez.
See, now I can go back with this higher heat, more flat, and shape some of what I did more. Because remember, this arm is up, so the fur is going everywhere. I can fix any angles I don't like. So, Burl, is it just the shadow doesn't, you're not comfortable with it, or
She says it just looks weird.
it's not dark enough and I don't have everything else in, so we don't have the shadow down here, the shadow here.
But I think they're talking about the reference. But like you said, that's a personal choice.
Yeah. To me, the bear was having fun.
He looks like he's a referee.
Go.
Yep.
See, every time I drag, I'm lifting, and this allows the pen to reheat.
And it's losing heat faster because you're using the full.
Yep.
Yeah. Carrie says, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since they did the crow, which thank you for the comments for. But since then, I have no motivation to do anything else, and I do not know why. I can answer that.
Oh, we all have that happen,
Yeah.
for sure. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed with all the things I need to get done that I get nothing done. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because it's so overwhelming.
So, for me, when I get done with a complex painting, which has been a while, it feels like such a relief to get it finished. And then starting over on something new feels almost insurmountable because you're starting the process all over again, and in your mind you remember all the things that you've had to deal with last time, all the complexities and problems you might have to solve and issues that you had. So I think in some ways our psyche doesn't want to deal with that. It's like if you go work out at the gym and it is a particularly hard workout, leg day, and then you're done and it's nice, it's great, but then in some ways when it's time for leg day again, you don't really want to go back to the gym because it's like, I remember I remember how much that hurt. You know, even if it is good for me, I really don't want to do it. So.
Well, I don't know that it's necessarily as important to figure out why it's happening as to get past it.
Yeah.
When it happens to me, and it happens a lot, I will make myself go in my studio, pick out my favoritist incense, put on upbeat music with my headphones, and I turn it up. If I didn't pull the sound from videos, I'd be constantly copyright struck because you can hear it. And I tell myself, do 10 minutes. Just sit and do 10 minutes. And then I find out later, or I look up later, and I've been doing it for 45. And I'm feeling better because I'm actually doing it. So try what makes you happy, music-wise, smell-wise, because our brains, smell is just as important as any other sense, because smell triggers responses too. It also triggers memories. So if you can pick a smell, pick a incense or a smell that you only smell while you're burning. That way when you smell it, after you've been doing it a little bit, when you smell that smell, it's going to trigger a upbeat response of, I want to go burn now.
That's good.
So if you're having a hard time, find triggers, positive triggers that tell your brain, hey, we need to go do this. And try to associate as much as you can positive feelings.
Yeah.
Because remember, when you're doing any art, regardless of the medium, whatever you're feeling, you're putting into that piece of art. So if you're having a bad day, you're putting that hard energy into your piece. So sometimes when you're having a hard day, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have a piece off to the side, like inadvertently, like what I have with this bear. And that's the piece you only work on when you've had a bad day. You pop in the music that makes you the happiest. Light that incense that makes you the happiest. And as you're burning, feel that anger or whatever feeling you're having that is negative for that bad day going into the wood. You never have to show this piece. You never have to do anything with this piece if you don't want to. What it is it's becoming a vessel for anything that's making you feel negative, so that when you go to do something positive, it triggers faster those responses.
Good answer.
That's all I kind of got.
I know. You can say that. Kathy, sometimes the break does clear your creative mind. Sometimes I do need that, especially if I've been going hard on something.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Sometimes you do need that.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
Little recovery time.
Or it wouldn't be bad if you need that recovery time, but you still feel the need to create something. Have a second side medium, whether it's watercolors or colored pencils or just graphite pencils, that you sit and doodle with those for a little while just to clear the cobwebs out of your head, to clear anything out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing this week.
Yeah. And it'll help if you do colored pencils or watercolors and you kind of learn those, it helps with your burning as well, especially if you want to add color at any point.
Wanda says her fever is back.
Oh.
She's struggling to keep going. It sucks. I hope you feel better, Wanda.
I do understand those. When my lupus flares up, I have a fever.
Mm-hmm.
See, I need to make this lip look a little bit more like the fur's coming down, because the fur is curving down. But the biggest one for me is smell and music. Those are the two biggest ones for me. And if I'm in a bad mood or I'm hurting really bad, I intentionally, and I love the music, but I intentionally use extremely heavy 80s, 90s, 2000 heavy metal and turn that bass up. And then what I'm doing intentionally is I'm trying to use the music to switch off or at least dial down my pain knob in my head. I use it with headaches. I know some people can't do it with headaches, but if I get a headache from my jaw and Advil or what have you is not working, I can put the music on, and at the very least it helps me relax. I know that sounds so odd, but the heavier the better. I'm talking Rob Zombie and Powerman 5000 and some of the heavier Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Motley Crue. Oh, AC/DC is a big one for me. And turn that bass up. I got a few tricks that work for me. Now, if it doesn't work for you, there's nothing wrong with that either. Let's see here. So we got more. See, as I've been going over it, as we've just been talking about something else, and I'm not focusing so much on, I mean, I'm focused on what I'm doing, but I'm not overly focused. And now I have a more featherly, smooth fur with a better transition. I'm liking it much better.
Burl wants to know, for me, how come all my characters have Barbie doll figures? Well, I can't show all of my art on Instagram, so they don't all have that.
No, they don't.
But in the future, you'll probably be seeing more diversity. So, if that helps.
She's in a mood today, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a mood today, Burl.
Let's see.
Let's put some ear in. Let's let the cub hear us.
So, Carrie says lavender and sandalwood is what she uses. Spence wants to know, what if you're allergic to smells?
I am highly responsive to smells. I can't walk down the laundry soap aisle, and I can smell it from so far away. And
that's true.
I have a really hard. I could be smelling something that Jason just absolutely doesn't smell and can't find it, and so I have several incenses that I know I can handle. I can handle the smell of vanilla. I can handle the smell of cinnamon, and I can handle the smell. What?
Nag Champa.
No. I hate Nag Champa. It makes me sick. And the smell of jasmine, but not the flower of jasmine. There's a specific brand of incense, only brand of incense that I will buy. I'm going to turn down to 5 because there's no burning here, so it's going to be burning really dark.
Earl says you can have too many side mediums. Just ask me how I know.
Oh, I got a whole studio. Oh, you know. It's one of the many reasons we get along. That's why I'm saying just one, and just make like a sketchbook. It doesn't have to be anything. It's just you're using it to trigger your brain into a different response.
Yes, I did. I answered your question, Burl.
He wants to know why you have painted and drawn in the past a more full yet what some people in society thinks is normal when it's not. Mind you, He was even older than me in the 80s, and I think the 80s really influences you.
Yeah. I mean, for a long
You're working on it.
For a long time, I did paint exactly that kind of thing because that was like what a lot of artists were doing at that time.
Yeah.
And I was trying to emulate that. So I think what Burl sees, especially where the game is concerned, because I've updated a lot of the original art that I've done, but it's still done in that style.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you're seeing a lot of the residual effects of my influences from that time period, but my current art is not really like that. Not anymore.
It's still nude heavy, which there's nothing wrong with that. I miss doing nudes.
But
I used to do them all the time.
But the stuff that I'm doing now is not so much of that, stick figure aesthetic. Is what I think you're getting at.
They're not even stick figures. They are sexy figures.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really getting. I'm taking a different approach to it.
Yeah.
There's a couple pieces that I'll be working on soon, and I think in some ways that I'm moving away from that kind of nude aesthetic, because when I went to school here, that was kind of a thing, but I think now that what I'm seeing now is like nudity is not. It's an aesthetic, but it's for specific messages, for specific messaging.
That's not true.
Huh?
That's not true. My last year's World Pyrography Month, he's nude.
Yeah.
Granted, I put a waterfall for one breast and shoulder and rocks for the other one, but he's nude, and it has nothing to do with sex.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. For me, is that my stuff is moving more away from the aesthetic for sex appeal, and so if I'm using nudity, it's for a reason.
Yeah. What were some of your influences from the 80s?
Oh my
Royal. Royal. He does book covers. That's probably how you would know
Royal
him.
was a big one, but I don't look to him so much anymore. There was a lot of artists that were doing fantasy stuff during that time, that like Julie Bell and Olivia. Like Olivia.
I still like Olivia.
Olivia was a big role model of mine, but I think that that aesthetic, like I'll stand by the work that I've done, especially with the planetary stuff that I've done lately, because it has very specific messaging. But
and they're not all nude.
No, they're not, and they won't be.
But even if they
all
were
nude either. So, like the earth painting that I'm going to be doing, that one is not stereotypical to what Burl is talking about, and it's not probably going to be a nude either. The one that I've decided to work on for the night vision show is not a nude, but I do use a lot of women in my iconography, but it's because of the message that I'm trying to send. Now, my older stuff, Burl, like the stuff that I recycled, that is the result of a 19, 20-year-old, trying to
army guy
trying to copy the artists that
missing girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just be honest about it. Missing girls.
I was trying to emulate. So yeah, a lot of that older art is kind of that direction, and I'm not making an excuse for it, but
it's your art. Period. It is what it
during that
is.
Time you've seen a lot of that, but
It is what it is.
But that's not what I'm really creating anymore. So.
And see, I'm kind of burned on doing animals. I know that's what everybody watches more, but I'm actually kind of burned on it. I've been doing it for so many years. I miss doing nudes in fantasy.
Yeah, well...
But I needed to say something. It just can't be...
Let me, because...
I'm trying to shape the inside of the ear where it's the darkest.
I'm not ignoring you, bro.
Oh, you say you're ignoring me?
I saw a thing, like, he's behind in chat. Like, yeah, I've been talking. So, be patient in getting there.
Just don't use your secret weapon, please.
What? No, I'm not. But now you're thinking of it. That's not my fault.
Let's see here. I know that's a really weird shape. Let's back it off.
Spence says, same here for smell. He can smell perfume or cigarettes from across the street and down the block. Yeah. Yeah, Axe body spray. That has some range.
A guy last week walked down in front of our house on the sidewalk, and I could smell him on the porch, which is, 50 feet away?
Oh, it was more than that.
I mean, and I smelled him for like 20 minutes after that.
For our Canadian audience, he was a good 150 meters up the hill, and I could still smell. I could smell him, and that's saying something.
Yes.
So,
does the H word fit? What is the H word?
I don't know. I'm still catching up on chat. Even if you did, bro, Nag Champa is okay for me. Like I like most fragrances. Like Sorry. I am uncultured. Like There's a spiritual meaning used for Nag Champa, but I just. Yeah, like in the
Nope.
Like I am so uncultured. Valarie is so sensitive with it, and that's I appreciate that because
I feel like I'm running in your studio going, "What the hell are you burning?"
Yeah, but
he's not
for
the
me,
stuff.
like I can walk into middle of somewhere where everybody's wearing perfume and cologne and be like, this smells, and Valarie might be vomiting, but a ways away. Yeah, I had the feeling that I was answering the things after it was typed. My chat might be lagging just a little bit too. Merle says voluptuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she said I keep expecting a Jabba the Hutt. But Spence says maybe you should do a nude again, Val.
Oh yeah, I need to.
So,
but here's the problem. Instagram, Facebook, and on some level YouTube suppresses that. In fact, Facebook and Instagram will remove a nude piece of art. It's gotten so bad that some museums have actually started OnlyFans in order to post paintings from all genre because they showed a boobie.
Mm-hmm.
Figure that one out.
See, and I had
I'm sorry, that one really...
See, and
all the cuss words.
And I had to do two...
Can you open that drawer, please?
What's in that drawer?
Top, second. It's down, that one.
What do you want? What you want? Just tell me.
This is the brand of incense that I use.
Oh, somebody's got to go. Oh, Burl's got to switch phone. Go. Okay, bye, Burl. Yeah, because I had to do two versions of my Jupiter because Jupiter has some nudity and
it shows boobies.
So I had to do one that didn't. So there's two versions because some places like we showed it at Pita Jungle. It was at restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got censored because I brought in a dragon.
They censored it?
No, they didn't censor it. They told me I couldn't hang it. Don't you remember? Because I had a dragon, and they're like, "Oh, it looks too much. It looks satanic." And I was like, "What?"
Oh no, you didn't tell me that because I would have been up in their faces.
And
so you didn't tell me.
So the curator was there, and it's like, "Yeah, the owner is not going to let this hang because it's it's alludes to Satanism." And I was like, "It's a dragon." Clearly, it's a dragon.
They obviously have issues with iguanas and alligators and crocodiles.
Yeah.
They're all satanic.
So, yeah, it's kind of weird. Rubens, Burl, I hope you're still here, but if you're not, I guess you can watch this on replay. Not necessarily in the Rubens direction, but I definitely, am. It's important for me to show real people, and not just Instagram models. So, if that helps. So,
There's a nude piece that I drew of me, though it is, but it isn't. Of me that I want to burn, and I drew it a very long time ago. If you want me to show it, let me grab it. So what time are we at? Yeah. Let me grab it real quick. So I gotta get up.
I'm looking at Rodney Matthews right now, Carrie, because I've never heard of him. Although it looks like I probably have seen his work.
I'm looking for a very old sketchbook.
Yeah, he's a little different than what I do, but I definitely appreciate the work that he's doing. So,
Where is it?
because it looks like he has a lot of more surrealist kind of things as compositions. So,
I'll be back on camera. I'm looking for it.
okay. Let's see. Yeah, lots of nudity on TV. Yeah, I know, right?
Where the hell is it?
Kathy says this piece is looking great. Oh, Burl's on her phone. Okay, gotcha. Because she's going to pick up grandson from school. Okay.
Oh, that's yours. Where is it?
What is what?
I'm looking for. Because I don't think I have it on my phone.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but I don't know where it is.
Here's the sketchbook.
It's an old sketchbook.
Very old.
It looks like that came from the 80s.
I don't remember if it's still in the sketchbook or if I pulled it. That's the thing.
It looks right. I remember looking through your sketches with you. Is the piece that you're talking about, is it the pain one?
Yep.
Okay. Because you had posted that, but that's not
Yeah, where did I post it?
Elfwood.
Oh, God. I don't even know if I can pull it.
Yeah.
This is funny. This is the piece I did in. I didn't draw this. This is a recreation. You had to pick an artist. I did Michelangelo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did a good job.
No, that's his.
Oh. I was like, wow,
that's mine.
It looks exactly like it.
No.
That's amazing.
I haven't looked at this in a very long time.
So, Spence is asking, Val, was this something you developed over time, or did you find it's what you've been doing right from the start when you're having trouble getting to burning? Is that, Spence, are you talking about the music, or how her techniques to kind of like...
The music and smells was before I started.
Yeah.
I just made it. Did I frame that piece? I did not frame that.
You did not. I know it's around here somewhere. Maybe look for it.
My phone.
Huh?
My phone.
Okay.
Turn the burner off.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe you look for it and do it next time because we're coming up. Well, we're past an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, who's got to go? Teresa's got to go.
Hey, Teresa. This is going to drive me nuts. I know
Thank you.
this
Yes,
is a
don't forget
sketchbook.
those thumbs up. Thank you.
This is the sketchbook. It's just not in here.
You must have taken it out.
Yep. I must have taken it out. Because this is a sketchbook I've been...
Spence, I think she just answered that.
What was that?
Oh, you said that it was...
That's how old the sketchbook is. It's a very old sketchbook. I can't remember if I...
Bye, Wanda. Sorry you don't feel good. I hope you feel better
Almost,
later. Hopefully we'll see you next week. You are quite welcome.
I don't know if it's still open.
Hey.
What?
Just...
I really want to find it now.
I know, but you're not on camera, and...
You are. Okay.
They're not here for Hubcap. They're here for Valarie.
They love Hubcap.
Hubcap's okay, but Hubcap's not Valarie. Am I right?
Yeah, but now it's going to drive me nuts.
Carmen, I think, because I'm seeing 12 thumbs up, so I think that it's just something on your end there.
Anyway, I'll find it. I know it's posted somewhere online. I thought I had it on my phone, but I don't currently have it on my phone.
Did you just throw your phone?
No, that was the sketchbook.
Oh, okay. Did you just throw your sketchbook?
I didn't throw it. I casually helped it over to its current location.
Yeah, I might have to do my sign language.
I'm back.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever. I will find the picture and I will post it. It was a very personal photo or drawing that I did. And I drew it in 2006, 2007. But I'll find it.
Okay.
And I'll share it with you guys. Next week, do you guys want to Photoshop how to put photos together in order to create a new photo? Or do you want to continue working on the bear? Right now, because World Pyrography Month starts today, I don't want to start a whole new project. What I can quickly do is, if you want, I can show you what my reference that I've made for World Pyrography Month is. Let me just pop it up real quick. It is... It's probably going to be large. I'm going to have to shrink it down for you guys so it's not off screen. Done.
Where'd you go?
Oh, it's hiding. There we go. Let me do this real quick so I can move it. Oop. Move it over. So I've already been drawing it out. Let me pop one thing off real quick.
Full tip.
Is it full tip? Alright. So this is the World Pyrography Month piece that this is the reference photo that I've created. With 8 different photos. Drawing wise, it looks even better because things that I can't necessarily remove aren't in the drawing.
Well, they're saying bear.
Bear, please.
Bear, please. Bear, please.
Okay. Well, then I guess we shall work on the bear.
Bear, please.
It's kind of nice that I'm not overly...
Bear, please.
Overly...
Bear, please.
Okay, that's it. That I'm not overly critical of this. That it's a base that I can work with.
Bear, please.
So, I guess well, do you want the bear or do you want the pine needles? Because the pine needles are a whole different thing.
Bear, please.
Well, I'll wait to see if they want pine needles or bear. Because the pine needles, if you look at the regular color photo...
If they wanted pine needles, they would have said pine needles.
Well, I didn't give them the option. So we're looking at...
Spence says... Bear, please.
He did not.
But I was translating. That's what he meant.
He didn't say that.
Bernadette plus Bareface equals.
Okay, now
bear,
he
please.
said it. Because if we look at the pine needles, they look like they're one tone. But then when we look at it... Sorry, I'm trying to move it so they're next to each other.
Carmen says, pine needles where? Exactly. Bear, please.
But if we look at the pine needles, some of them are completely white, so they're going to be all negative burning. The pine needles are all around the bear. Ah! Look at my ceiling again.
Bear, please.
Well, what is up with you and the bear?
I don't know.
Do you want the bear?
No, I'm being chat's representative. That is what I was chosen for this mission for. To be Chat's voice in the studio. It is my obligation and duty. And I cannot fail them. Here, please.
I can see where I need to go darker, but it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Pine needles where? They're all, look on the side here and the side here. Those are pine needles. Those are pine needles. And that's a ponderosa pine back here in the background, right here. And then at the bottom is dirt and pine needles, but it's blurry, so we won't see that. There is a, let me get the, right here was a little cave type area for the cubs to sleep in and whatnot. It's just going to be a dark area, which helps the pine needles pop out more. Alrighty, it's up to me. I will figure it out. I just know that I can't have certain subjects on camera for more than so long in a row because then people stop watching. That hurts the channel. So I got to keep you guys interested. I do like that, how I did that right there.
Spence says, do what you feel in the moment. And that resulted in Valarie spewing profanity for the next 10 minutes.
I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. You know what to say with me.
Yes, I do.
You're awesome.
Bear, please.
You can do this.
Bear,
Why?
please.
Shout it out. You're a pyro
Bear,
artist.
please.
Don't forget World Pyrography Month starts today. Link down in the description if you're not sure what that is. I've got a whole video explaining it. And we will see you next week.
Bear,
Happy burning, guys.
please.
Bye.
Bear, please.
Do you want the